BENELLI Super Black Eagle 3 is a gun that presents a curious case of being both familiar and surprising in a way that is similar to the meeting of a long-lost friend from high school who somehow looks just the same and yet completely different at the same time. The very first thing that caught my attention when I got a hold of the gun this year was how unnatural it is to shoulder it, almost as if the shotgun and the shooter were communicating telepathically, which is certainly a machine but still very true to the feeling. It is true that there has been some debate regarding whether or not its recoil system is really up to dealing with the messier and dirtier conditions that some people love to throw at it. And honestly, this very reason made me want to push it harder than I usually would just to see the result. What is more interesting, instead of worrying about its failure, you wind up laughing at how unfazed it is, like the shotgun equivalent of someone shaking crumbs off their shirt and getting straight back to work. It has the reliability and the very subtle fancy touches that make one think that the designer had a humorous side. Let's make this one so smooth that people start doubting their own expectations. If ever you had the experience of using a shotgun that was more of a fight than a cooperation, the Super Black Eagle 3 is the total opposite. It is almost annoyingly friendly. And after your session with it, you get that in-between awkwardness where you start to speak to yourself, "Okay, I see what the hype is, all right?" WEATHERBY Element Waterfowler. With the WEATHERBY Element Waterfowler, there is a sense of calmness and confidence that is almost magnetic. It is like the person who is very quiet but very interesting in a room where everybody else shouts and flexes. The very first thing that catches your attention is how lightweight it is. And the funny thing is that you cannot stop checking your grip because your mind is sure that you have missed something. But no, that is just how well it is balanced. Sometimes people raise the question of whether a shotgun this light can remain controllable or consistent when the tempo rises. And that question makes you want to try the faster follow-up shots just to see where the limits are. And then it is going to be even smoother than you anticipated, which will make you laugh because you were ready to criticize it. But now you are there going, okay, that actually feels good. The design imparts to it a certain utilitarian beauty, as though it is produced by people who really go outdoors, not by someone employed to stare at a computer screen all day. And as crazy as it may seem, the product has a character about it which makes you think this piece was created by someone who really feels the annoyance and has found the way to prevent it. To be honest, it is one of those shotguns that you do not naturally expect to create a bond with, but at the end of the day you find yourself defending it like a good friend. Browning a 5 Hunter. The Browning. A 5 Hunter, which is one of the shotguns, seems to be carrying history with its movement, as if you are getting into a classic car that has been restored to such a high standard that you forget it is older than you. The design is the first surprise. It seems traditional, but upon closer inspection, every feature reveals a bit of modern ingenuity, and it nearly deceives your mind because you presume the feeling will be familiar, but the handling is quicker than imagined. Many people do not hesitate to mock the A5 for its appearance or being the old-timer of the family. But to tell the truth, it just makes one go through the testing process the more. To know if the nostalgia is very strong that it has even covered imperfections. There is a movement in the recoil cycle that is very pleasant and is a little bit like dancing, smoother than expected. And almost the shotgun has its own rhythm which it keeps no matter what mood you are in. And if you spend more time with it, you will come to appreciate its strange charm more, like the kind of friend who is a little too slow with telling stories but still manages to keep you listening all the time. The A5 Hunter is that rare combination of traditional attraction and modernity in performance that constantly surprises you in little ways all day long. TRISTAR Viper G2 Pro. The TRISTAR Viper G2 Pro is bringing a totally different kind of vibe to this ranking, like an underdog who, after a silent entrance, happens to steal the whole movie without any warning. The very first time you take it in your hands, there is that moment of, wait a minute, it really feels better than I thought. And this is not the kind of thing that goes away in 5 minutes. It stays with you. There is a little argument going on in the internet whether mid-priced shotguns can compete with the big names or not. And this argument by itself makes you test this one with a little more skepticism than usual. But then it operates more smoothly than you expected, and the weight distribution is such that you forget the price altogether, and the skepticism turns suddenly into curiosity. You will be amused at the thought that something this easygoing is supposed to be budget, because the gun does not give you the impression that it is trying to win you over. It simply and quietly delivers. There is a certain appeal in its directness, almost like it is stating, "I know what I am made for. Let us omit the drama and get it done." And when you finish your testing, you practically admire it the same way you admire those who do not boast, but go on surpassing the expectations. Kalashnikov USA KOMRAD. The Kalashnikov USA KOMRAD is the wild card of this entire selection. The unexpected twist in a story when something totally unexpected appears, and the whole atmosphere changes for the better. The very first attraction gets you the moment you catch its small, almost delinquent shape, and you know right away that it is not going to be a traditional one. The topic of discussion is always whether or not a product with such a unique design can still have good performance, and only this discussion makes one experiment with the product more, just to find out the actual limits. It has this vibrant and positive vibe that simply makes you smile because it is so easy to be dramatic in describing this aspect of the gun. And yes, people can talk about its design against its usefulness all they want, but once you get to know the lively feeling of the gun, these talks will turn into mere background noise. In the end, it remains the shotgun that takes the longest to fade from your memory, simply because it chose to be different, and that is what makes it so attractive. In case you liked this analysis and you want more similar explorations, don't forget to like, to comment with the one you found most surprising, and subscribe as the next lineup that could totally switch the rankings again will be coming up soon.